Goth. Good evening. Okay, now that's better. You should hear me better now. Good evening, everyone. What's up? It's Saturday. Jesus, I'm live on a Saturday. That hasn't happened in like a few weeks. But I'm here. How's everyone doing? How's everyone? I hope you're doing all fucking swell, baby. It's me. And I brought with you a visual novel. We're gonna read more Higurashi. We're not too deep into it, so it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be fine. Yeah. Higurashi it is. Without further ado, I think I'm just gonna jump right in and read to you. It's gonna be fun. Fun. Funnity fun. Funnity fun. Ooh, boy. Do you hear the cicadas already? I can hear them. God, I love cicadas. Love their noises. Okay. I think I'm ready to go. Okay. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. I think we can do it like this. Looks pristine. With the cicada on top. Let's go. Last time we were on the... It was during the festival where we met the photographer, the weirdo that hangs out with young girls. And, yeah. We are just running around doing stuff there. Now, I'll try to get in. I'll try to do the voices again. I hope I can do them again. I don't remember how I did some of those voices. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's do it. You actually knocked it over. You got me. Amazing. Congratulations, Kiichi-kun. Kiichi-san has finally learned how to use his head. I see you in a slightly better light now. I don't do it all by myself. Everyone hit it, and those small bits together brought it down. This trophy belongs to all of us. Right! This is from all of us working together. Me didn't hit it a single time. After holding up the teddy bear like it was a championship trophy, I handed it to Reina. Here. This is from me. No, from everyone. Thanks for always making your delicious lunches. Reina, thinking she was never actually going to get it, was momentarily speechless. I can't, Kiichi-kun. This is everyone's after Ohio. In that case, I was the one who knocked it down. And it's mine. It's mine, so I'm giving it to Reina. I pushed the stuffed animal towards her again. This time she embraced and accepted it. You've watched out for me ever since I moved here after all. I'm really grateful to you see. Thanks a lot. Hi, oh. Kiichi-kun. Thanks so much. Reina dove at me. Mion told me a few days later that Reina kissed me, but I didn't realize it during all the excitement at the time. I remembered that I was trying to say to Tomitake-san earlier. What I was trying to say to Tomitake-san earlier. Hey Ado, Andy, welcome in. There really isn't much of anything here. But there are lots of things you can't find anywhere else. I gained a lot from coming to Hinamizawa. Especially at that moment. The crowd's cheers echoed on and on. How you doing, Ido? From the altar set up in front of the shrine, the drums sounded with a booming echo. It was the finale of the festival. I'll be going off ahead then. Uh-oh. I need to go and get myself a good spot too. Well then, everyone, see you in a bit. Both Rika-chan and Tomitake-san gave their farewells and disappeared into the crowd. I wish both of you the best in your endeavors. Now, shall we be off? Yeah, might as well go see Rika-chan's charming figure. Let's go. Yeah, huh? Where's Reina? What are you doing? Kiichi-kun! Ni-chan, save me! She was carrying such a ridiculously large stuffed animal. He was being carried by the flow of people. What is she doing? She must have her hands full taking care of that bear. So I'll leave Reina in your care, Kei-chan. My hands are full with taking care of Satoko. Who would want to be looked after by you, Mio-san? Ouch, please don't pull my arm. Before losing sight of Mion, I grabbed the back of Reina's collar. Kiichi-kun, not there. Don't grab me there. Always so bossy. Where can I grab you then? Hi, oh. I didn't feel ashamed at all. Reina was ashamed enough for the both of us. I grabbed onto Reina's hand and dashed after Mion and the others. We're gonna be late. Hurry up. Yeah. I hadn't realized Reina's hand was so delicate. Maybe she needed a bit more exercise and nutrition? That wasn't what I meant. Not at all. My ears burned. I tried to keep calm. I repeated the phrase, "Keep it together, Keiichi Maebara," in my mind, but it didn't look like I would be able to anytime soon. I really didn't want Reina to see my face right then, so I pushed onwards, dragging her along without looking back even once. There was already a huge group of people gathered at the altar in front of the shrine. The fire at the altar made it as bright as midday and just as hot. There was a pile of futons worded with sanctified rope in front of the altar. Come to think of it, they did say it was a festival where they did use something with the cotton in the futons. Kiichi-san! Reina-san! We are over here! Satoko waved her hands from the front row. Ah, sorry. Making our way through the mass of people, we reached the spot they've saved. How was it? Were you able to have a little bit of an excitement with Reina? You punk, so that was your plan? Instead of replying, Mio gave us a perverse grin. How was it, Reina? Was Kei-chan hands bigger than you thought it would be? Reina turned bright red, puffs of steam shooting out of her. I heard something slice through the air and turned around to see Mion on the ground with a welt on her face. Mion, were you hit? Between the ha and o of her hayo, I think. Reina, it's not good to punch your friends to hide your embarrassment. I didn't hit her. Whatever, hayo. Thump! The sonorous beat of the drum echoed, silencing the crowd. You must all be quiet. It's beginning. It was a solemn ritual. Rika-chan entered dressed as a shrine maiden, followed by members of the municipal committee. The elders all looked at Rika-chan and clasped their hands in praise. The only thing allowed to disturb the profound silence was the flash from Tomitake's camera. Beautiful. And such nice music too. What's the big thing Rika-chan is holding? A hoe that's used for this. I'm sorry. I'm a man child. I laugh at the word hoe. It's a sacred farming tool that only the shrine maiden may touch. It was an awkward shape for a piece of farm equipment. Not uncommon for something used in rituals. After reciting a Shinto prayer, Rika-chan approached a pile of futons gathered at the altar. She swung the hoe, skillfully plowing it into the futons. Each and every little movement of this performance probably had to be done in a certain way. Without a doubt, this was a ritual. What's next? Airing out futons? She's purifying futons that absorbed illness from people over the winter. So when Kei-chan said airing out futons, he wasn't completely wrong. Rika-chan's face was already dripping with sweat. That hoe was probably really heavy. I like my hose heavy too. She staggered side to side with the momentum of each swing. The Toko looked on, silently, lending her support. Worried? Rika practiced every single day with her mochi hammer. She will certainly prevail. The Toko's hands were sweaty, and whenever Rika-chan started to sway a little, she held her breath. Why wasn't Mion a candidate to be the Shrine Maiden? It feels wrong having Rika-chan swing around something so heavy. I'd do it if they asked me, you know? And well, it's not something just anyone could do. That's true. Shrine Maidens need to be pure after all. Mion drove her elbow into my side. With the thud of the big drum, Rika-chan gave a solemn bow and descended from the altar. That triggered a round of generous applause. After the Shinto priests had raised up the cleansed futons like a portable altar, all the spectators stood up. Following after the priests, we all marched on at a moderate pace. They descended the shrine's giant stairs in a line. What's happening now? Washing the futons in the river? Watanagashi means setting cotton adrift, you know. The procession continued right up to the bank of the stream. Fire was stoked high and it was bright as day here too. People started crowding around it and clamoring. Alright, get in line. Line up, Keiichi-kun. Wondered what was up. Maybe we'd get some holy wine? Red and white bean buns? It's not food. I said it was cotton. Oh, but of course. They didn't call it the Watanagashi for nothing. I finally understood. The municipal committee members pulled out the cotton from inside the futons and balled it up like a mochi, handing it out to people. Reina dove into the line and bought out some for me as well. We then proceeded to the bank of the stream. Since it's your first time, Keiichi-kun, just copy what I do. She held the cotton in her right hand, waving her hand as if to purify it. She touched it to her forehead, chest, navel, and both thighs. You do this 3 times and silently give thanks to Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama? What's that? The name of the shrine's god? Yes, it's the guardian deity of Hinamizawa. It brings about both miracles and curses. So you must be sure to show respect. That sounded like a pretty frightening god. But well, when in Rome, I was officially a resident of Hinamizawa now after all. Doing as Renner showed me, I touched the cotton over myself 3 times. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. Thank you, Oyashiro-sama. This way, all the evil that possesses you is sucked out by the cotton. Then, you let it gently drift away on the stream, and you are done. Together, Reina and I set our pieces of cotton afloat on the surface of the water. The flowers of cotton blooming in the water had sucked out all the evil festering in Hinamizawa and drifted off, disappearing into the distance. It was wonderful, like those floating lantern festivals I'd see on TV. The best part, though, was feeling like this rite of passage had made a true resident of Hinamizawa. Man, this is going to go so fucking wrong. While starting off into the stream, I somehow got separated from Reina. I wasn't very lonely though. I know this place now. This is where I live. My home. It probably better if I stay here instead of wandering around aimlessly. Someone would surely find me while I was enjoying the evening breeze. I heard a familiar voice. It was Tomitake-san's. I headed towards it. How did it go, Tomitake-san? Were you able to get some good shots? Yeah, fortunately. Tomitake-san was with a girl. I felt a little like I was intruding. How was it, Keiichi-kun? Did you enjoy the festival? From the way that was her. From the way she spoke, it seems like she was a resident of Hinamizawa. I really should try harder to remember people's faces here. What was her name? Well, it was fun. My face must have given away how desperately I was trying to remember her name because she gave a lighthearted chuckle. It's probably because it hasn't been long since he moved here. Pretty hard to believe seeing how friendly you've gotten with the other kids. If that's how it looked, it was probably all thanks to Reina and Mion. Perhaps you feel more like a resident of Hinamizawa after taking part in the festival today? I wonder about that. Oh, that's not like you. I had tried to get used to Hinamizawa, but there were still plenty of things I didn't know. The faces of people I'd met, for example. Things that had happened in the past as well. Oh, you're feeling left out because of something like that? It's not so much as feeling left out. It's just I'm not sure how to say it. That incident at the dam construction site. Fighting over it and other conflicts. That terrible incident they pretended they didn't even know about whenever I brought it up. Even though it was in the past. As someone living in Hinamizawa, it wasn't wrong to want to know about both the good and bad that had happened here. If it will put you at ease, then I'll tell you everything I know. Tomitake-san's smile made me more relieved than I'd ever been. It was hard to think. The fuck? Sorry. Jesus. What is going on? My throat's kinda clogging up. 1 second. Okay. Now it's better. It was hard to think of what to ask when someone said, ask me anything, though. Ask me anything is usually something you'd say in a group setting. Because it means that the group can ask you anything. I don't think ask me anything is good when you're like just one person who questions. Gotta do it more guided because it just overwhelms people. They are in a group, it's easier. Then, could you tell me about what happened when the dam was being constructed? There was a big incident where Hinamizawa was going to be submerged, right? I think the locals would be more knowledgeable about the dam than I am. Well, if you don't mind, I'll tell you what I know. It's only what I read in the newspaper, though. Tomitake-san's eyes entered an unfocused gaze as he searched through his memory. Then he spoke. Playing some weep game again, cringe. Yeah, it's the biggest cringe that I could have mustered today. I'm so tired of all the cringe in my life, but I'm gonna quit. It's over. Done. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. My throat's sore. Proceeds to do fried voice. No, it was like kinda clogged up. Do you know when it's like, when your throat feels like it's kind of clogged, you know? It's not sore, actually. I just had like weird, I don't know. I mean, I do the fried voice until I can't. It's fine. The decision to start the dam project was finalized 7 or 8 years ago. I heard it was the next major project after Kurobe. There were 3 major issues in Japan at the time. Improving inter-island transportation infrastructure, meeting the higher demand for electricity, and flood control. There was a boom of dam building due to the massive economic stimulus they provided on top of generating electricity and flood control. Hinamizawa had the right conditions to support dam constructions, so it was singled out. The dam reservoir would have covered quite a lot of ground when it was complete. The entire area right up to Yaoguchi way upstream would be underwater. But why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? But why did they have to pick a populated area like Hinamizawa? Couldn't have they instead picked a place where nobody lived? I'm not really sure why, but I heard that it was just the right terrain from building a dam. Of course there were protests here in Hinamizawa. Rika-chan had said there was a battle. From that choice of words I had to guess, things turned violent. There was a trial and it was even brought up before the national diet. It was covered in the Tokyo newspaper too. Mion told me about that as well. I'm sure every resident of Hinamizawa had united to fight together. The feeling of solidarity found here, which cannot be expressed properly with mere words, was likely brought about by the battle. As a result, bribery and scandals were brought to light. As things got more and more complicated, they eventually halted construction. If I wanted to know, now was my only chance to ask. It was certainly a bizarre incident that boys my age would be curious about. I felt a little shame from the fact I was petty enough to have my curiosity piqued by Reina and Mion's refusal to talk about the event. But I figured I might as well ask since I had the chance. Just so I would stop thinking about it too much. So, there was a dismemberment, right? There was. It happened to be here in Hinamizawa at the time, so I remember it well. Mitake-san's answer was nonchalant in contrast to my hesitantly forced out question. It was about this time 4 years ago. It was the day of the Watanagashi, if I recall it correctly. Debate on whether to continue construction on the dam was in disarray. Scandal after scandal rocked the project near the end. And the incident was the final nail in the coffin for the dam project. A fight at the dam construction site ended in the victim being murdered. During prosecution, the 6 assailants divided their remains into 6 pieces and each hit one. 5 of the 6 criminals turned themselves in out of guilt, but one was still on the run. The right arm he'd hidden had yet to be found. The major details lined up with what was in the tabloid I'd read earlier. It certainly was a tragic incident, but it wasn't so terrible that Rena and Mion needed to hide it from me. I guess they didn't want someone who just moved here to have a negative impression of Hinamizawa. I felt grateful for having friends who worried so much about me, as well as shame for still being so interested in it. It was near the end of all the trouble with the dam, you see. So everyone was saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. Oyashiro-sama's curse, huh? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, God. That sneeze was powerful and brutal. Jesus. Oyashiro-sama was the name of the god at the shrine that held the festival today, if I recalled correctly. I see. The guardian deity rained divine punishment down on the evil dam construction for trying to flood Hinamizawa. Apparently the younger ones didn't think so, but it seems the elderly in the village never doubted that it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman with Tomitake-san said with a mischievous chuckle. Tomitake-san began laughing with her. It was so infectious I ended up laughing as well. And now Oyashiro-sama hates you. But I wonder about now. There are quite a few, I think, amongst the youth too. A few what? People who believe in Oyashiro-sama's curse? The woman's lips were still curled into a smile, but her expression turned stern. Then after that, it continued every year. Always around this time. Continued? What continued? Tomitake-san paused for a second, as if to build up some suspense. Then he whispered to me as if someone might have been listening. Every year, on the day of the Watakanashi, somebody dies. The year following the dismemberment, on the day of the Watakanashi, a man from Hinamizawa who had supported the dam fell off a cliff overlooking some rapids and died while he was on vacation. Unfortunately for his wife, the body was never recovered. He supported the dam construction even though he lived in Hinamizawa. At the time, there were whispers amongst the elderly saying it was Oyashiro-sama's curse. The woman chuckled mischievously again. Oh yeah, that sounds like a total curse. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Then the next year, the night of the Watakanashi, the shrine's Shinto priest died suddenly from an unknown illness. His wife drowned herself in the bog that night. The shrine's Shinto priest? You mean he was from the shrine here? The woman nodded. There was a rumor amongst the villagers that they weren't able to quell Oyashiro-sama's anger. Then the year after that, again, on the night of the Watakanashi, they discovered the battered body of a local housewife. Housewife? Up until now, all these mysterious deaths were people involved with the dam, or who had connections with Oyashiro-sama. With that in mind, could the housewife have been involved in some way too? Exactly, the woman stated slyly. No, it was more menacingly. One of the victim's relatives, you see, was connected to the younger brother of the dam supporter, who fell to his death 2 years before. The younger brother is still alive, it seems. But it did bother him quite a bit. So he moved to the neighboring town. Oh my. The plot thickens. For a while I stood there with my mouth agape. The battle over the dam construction with Hinamizawa's future at stake. And the murder at the center of it all. That was all I knew, and that was all I wanted to ask about. But that wasn't all there was to the story. Homicide, body disposal, accidental death, terminal illness, suicide, fatal beatings. I'm a pretty level-headed person. I don't really want to believe in curses, but the freakish deaths happened every year on the day of the Wataganashi, and all of them were related to the dam construction. It was so easy to dismiss each of them as coincidences by themselves, but when you put them all together, dismissing all of them as a coincidence would then defy logic. I don't believe in curses, but every single year on the day of the Wataganashi, somebody or something makes it happen without fail. The woman chuckled again, as if she picked up on what I was thinking. I felt like she was saying maybe we frightened him, stuff like that. I felt embarrassed at being read so easily. I pressed Mitake-san to continue, a bit of impatience and irritation in my tone. Then, someone died the next year after, right? Who was it that time? I wonder, who do you think, Keiichi-kun? The hell? The way he said it didn't agree with me. The sarcastic tone ticked me off. Don't avoid the question, I'm serious here. Hey, calm down, Keiichi-kun. I realized when she tried to calm me down that I had been panicking. We aren't trying to avoid the question, Keiichi-kun. Just when you say the next year, that's this year. That's today. When she hesitated to say it, Mitake-san finished for her. I broke into a cold sweat. I really didn't like the direction this was headed. Nobody wants to speak of it, but they all think it's going to happen again tonight. The festival was so cheerful, though. Well, the victim last year, the housewife, she was a non-believer. It turns out she didn't even attend the Wataganashi festival. There was a rumor going around that if you didn't participate in the festival, you would incur Oyashiro-sama's wrath. Didn't you hear anything about this, Keiichi-kun? I never heard a whisper about that rumor. Then the reason everyone was at the festival was they were afraid of the curse? I figured that must have been the reason. There were a lot more people at the Wataganashi than usual. I guess everyone was just afraid after all of Oyashiro-sama's curse. I couldn't utter a single word. In this modern age, where we've made progress in all scientific fields, shedding light on the unknown and misunderstood, where black and white television has been eradicated and we've sent men to the moon, even with all of the accomplishments, this can exist in modern society? Tons of invitations were sent out to neighboring towns, youth groups to help pad the numbers. But after that string of events, you decided to join. The municipal committee members were complaining about how hard it was to gather participants. Also, the police are treating each case as isolated. They don't believe they are connected. They are trying to keep it quiet, so it's all plainclothes officers. It finally began to dawn on me why Reina and Neon were reluctant to talk. If nothing happened during this Wataganashi, everything would be over with and I'd be none the wiser. If nothing happened, all would be well. In that case, it would all end up being just crazy talk. I should have just pretended like I knew nothing from the beginning. Then they wouldn't have had to act like nothing happened. And we would have all gotten back to life as usual. Maybe it was too much for him after all. The woman ran her finger through her hair as she sighed. No, it wasn't. Not at all. I had to try and act strong, but that just served to emphasize how much the information had unsettled me. After seeing how I looked, Tomitake-san appeared to regret saying anything, letting out a sigh. He then spoke, forcing an awkward, upbeat demeanor. Keiichi-kun, surely you don't believe in such thing as curses? Well, no. If the curses of all the crimes were unknown, with the perpetrators and their methods all mysteries, then I would think it's the work of a curse. Welcome back, Bam Bam. Welcome back, Bam Bam. But that's not how things are in reality. The police are investigating the evidence and suspects to uncover the truth. Hearing him say police made me feel a lot better. It was perfect for repelling the word curse. The first one, the dismemberment, for example. Told you, didn't I? All but one of the perpetrators were arrested. Only matter of time for the last one. The motive turned out to be an argument they had while being intoxicated. That's no curse. Don't you agree? That was true. If it didn't happen on the day of the Wataganashi, then I wouldn't think it was related to the curse at all. The accidental death of the man who supported the dam is the same. He was he was in a position that made others hate him. The police made a point of investigating from that angle. They concluded it was an accident, no foul play. But they both happened on the day of the festival, right? Just think about it, Keiichi-kun. Do you think people with a lot of enemies here in Hinamizawa could participate easily in a local festival? It would be especially hard for them to be around during the Watakanashi. Come back only to find my mouse batteries are dead. Be right back, alright. It wasn't a very clear explanation, but I sort of understood what Tomitake-san was getting at. So I pressed on earnestly, asking more questions so I could convince myself. Then Tomitake-san, what about the priest who died after that? The one with the unknown illness. That also happened on the day of the festival. It's even easier to explain that happened to the Shinto priest. The Watakanashi is a really big event that happens once a year. It was probably from all the build-up stress. Though it's funny how hard the first episode lays down the framework of the story, only for it to be messed with until no end. Or it may have been because of a pre-existing condition. But it was an unknown illness. It's hard to believe something with an unknown cause could exist with our advances in medicine. It was just an exaggeration. Rumors making rumors. Anyone would get worked up over having incidents happen 2 years in a row. The sudden death is quite unnatural, though. Of course, the police ordered an autopsy because of the strange way he died. But there wasn't enough for them to open a full investigation, you know. Turns out, it was just a sudden death due to illness. The priest's wife committed suicide, correct? What about that? I believe I already explained that. Everyone was shaken up by the incident happening for a third year. Those who are strong faith were quick to believe it was the work of the curse. Of course, that included the priest's wife. Apparently, they found a suicide note that said something like, "My death will quell Oyashiro-sama's anger." Well then, how about the next incident with the housewife? That happened the day of the Watakanashi too. The perpetrator has already been caught, and the case has been closed. Turns out it was just some nutjob trying to continue the legacy of the Hinamizawa curse. Then how about the incident the next year? Oh yeah, this year is the next year. Tomitake-san gave me a hearty laugh. Nothing will happen. Not this year. This was never a curse to begin with. And yet, something's gonna happen. I can feel it in my balls. When people... It's just a group of people believed it... What? It's just that a group of people believed it was the explanation for a string of coincidences. My internal computer finally got itself back on track. I felt a bit embarrassed by how childish I'd become after losing control and panicking. I can see very clearly now that Kiichi-kun really does love Hinamizawa, even if Oyashiro-sama's curse or actually did exist. Kiichi-kun couldn't bring himself to believe that such a thing existed. I felt relieved. I would probably just forget everything I heard tonight. I'll greet Reina and Mion tomorrow, if with the same smile as always. They probably also like tonight, the end without incident, so they can continue on tomorrow without having to worry about me. Perhaps seeing my change in attitude. The woman who had been listening in stretched as she got up from the rock she was sitting on. Well then, I should be getting back. Goodness, I think I may have gone a bit on too long. There were a few people compared to the crowd from before. I could only make out a few groups of families enjoying the cool evening air. I looked at my watch. It seemed we'd talked for the better part of an hour. Didn't you come along with your friends, Kiichi-kun? Not going to look for them? Oh yeah. They might be all looking for me. Oh yeah, they might be all looking for me. You are quite the scoundrel. Making the girls look for you. Of course they do. Of course they do. You, Kiichi-kun, have a nice night. You too, Chiro-san. I'll see you a bit later. Tomitake-san seems to be quite the scoundrel himself, though his name is Chiro. After dusting off her backside, she disappeared into the crowd of people still busy cleaning up. Kiichi-kun! So sorry! In her place, Reina came running up. I could see all the others behind her. Speaking of the devil... My bait, Kei-chan. We got caught up in our discussion. I'd completely forgotten about them while caught up in my own conversation. So we were even. So Tomitake-san was with you? This works out perfectly. We still need to settle the shooting gallery competition. That's right. So I guess I'm going to end up dead last. Okay, no more rough voice. It doesn't work. In the end, after my dramatic victory, Rika-chan was the last challenger, but there weren't many targets left. The ones remaining were all tiny and difficult to hit. She did take her time to aim, but all 3 shots completely missed. She was to end up sharing the loser's crown with Tomitake-san. However, she She did her little mewing cry in front of the owner, and she turned to mush instantly. She was given a pack of gum as consolation prize. Her methods were a bit audacious, but she did avoid being the loser rather magnificently. Come to think of it, Rika-chan is quite the trickster. I have no idea what Keiichi's talking about. Now then, it's decided that Tomitake-san is dead last. Everyone cheered and applauded. Tomitake-san smiled wryly, slightly bewildered. So, Tomitake-san, are you ready? Penalty time! Huh? I completely forgot about that. You're too naive, Tomitake-san. This is why our club can never lose. Mion pulled a felt-tip marker from her pocket. Oh, it's that. Show him some mercy, Mion. At least use a washable marker. A permanent one is too harsh. It just has to be permanent. It comes off when you do the laundry anyways. What is this? Please take it easy on me. All of us pinned his arms back behind his back, and Mion approached him with the marker in one hand. And squip, squip, squip. But she didn't write on Tomitake-san's face. She wrote on the shirt he was wearing. You better have your big break this year, Mion. Reina took up the marker next. Show me your photos next time, okay, Reina? It was a little heartwarming and I just had to laugh. Haha, this is more like a farewell card than a penalty. Ho ho ho, I'm not that soft as the rest. I'll make sure this is a proper penalty. Haha, that last. Natoko. Try harder next time, Rika. There you go, Keiichi-san. I couldn't decide what to write, but based on what kind of penalty this was probably the most appropriate. Come back and play again, Keiichi. Tomitake-san was silent the entire time. At first he was quite bewildered, but now he had a different look on his face. So I have to wear this all the way back to Tokyo as part of the penalty? Of course. You'd better wear it all the way home. You could wear it when you come back. It would be nice. He appeared deeply moved. Embarrassment mixed with a wealth of other emotions made him turn into a bright red. Understood. I'll wear the next time I come here. Everyone cheered and applauded. It was the finest parting gift possible for a buddy heading out tonight. I saw the woman who was with Tomitake-san standing near the festival grounds. It seemed like Tomitake-san noticed her too. He knew it was time to leave. Seems like your guest is waiting. Isn't it about time? Hmm? Yeah, that's certainly how it seems. Haha. Tomitake-san headed off towards her and seemed to apologize for making her wait. We all shouted stuff at Tomitake-san. Each time we did, he looked back and waved his hand. Eventually, he faded into the darkness of the night and out of sight. It was quite the casual farewell. This wasn't the first time any of us had seen someone off. They had done the same thing many times before. He's gone? Well, it's about time we take off too. Rina-chan had to stay behind with the other committee members since they were having a meeting. Satoku was taken along with her. That's the thing though. I know child labor laws are kind of weird and it's not really work or whatever. But like, shouldn't Rika go to bed? I headed back home with the usual suspects. Because of fucking course you did. The walk back was quite lively, with talk of the day's war story. She yearns for the miners. For the mines, yes, she does. She yearns for the mines, absolutely. Should have done this, should have done that kind of stuff. YouTuber slip right there, yeah, totally. Reina and I parted ways with Mion, and then it was just the two of us. Then we got to my house, and I parted ways with Reina as well. It's already pretty late. Are you alright by yourself? Yeah, I'm perfectly fine. It's close. I'm going to run too. If you run into some weirdo, just yell. If someone does come, will you come and save me? Maybe? Maybe? If I hear you. Are you okay? I'll scream loud enough so you can hear me. Merrily spinning her arms around at high speed, Reina dashed off. What happened with her big plush? She was fine. In that mode, not even an adult could stand against her. Reina's cheerful presence disappeared, and it finally became quiet again. The curse that not a single person even whispered about. The more I learned about it tonight, the more unsettling it became. I didn't show any of their faces. It didn't show any of their faces, but they were probably all quite concerned about it as well. But if nothing happens tonight, then it all ends up being just crazy talk. Nothing will happen. Nothing bad, nothing at all. What's wrong, Keiichi? Why are you standing in a place like that? Come inside, you'll catch a cold. It was my mom. Did you go, Mom? To the Wataganashi festival? In the end, your father didn't wake up. So I missed it. A little disappointing. Mom stuck her tongue out with a bit of an embarrassed look on her face. Keiichi's parents are so fucking dead. You have received new tips. Mr. and Mrs. Hoju's falling incident. Okay. Let's look at the tips. They are the parents of an anime protagonist. The game was rigged from the start. It really was. From the June 1980 edition. The afternoon of XX at 2 p.m. Office employee XXX and his wife XXX of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone prefecture disappeared after falling 27 meters from the observatory platform in Shirakawa prefecture. Police and firefighters searched downstream and discovered the bodies of XXX at around 7 p.m. at that evening. His wife has yet to be found. The search has run into difficulties due to the effects of a Typhoon 3 from the previous day. It appeared a railing at the observatory that they leaned on had broken, causing him to fall. The grounds keeping staff was questioned by the police in regarding to the facility deterioration and if park maintenance was performed properly. From the June 1981 edition. On the afternoon, around 10 p.m. in the district of Hinamizawa village in Shishibone prefecture, the Shinto priest of the Furude shrine passed away after an existing condition he was recovering from suddenly worsened. Parties close to the deceased said he was suffering from anxiety issues concerning the festival, which was to be held that day. Also, after the death of the wife went missing, leaving behind a farewell note. The police and local youth association continued the search, however, given the presence of the farewell message and the fact that the Onigafuchi marsh is said to be bottomless, they have run into difficulties. Housewife murder. It wasn't reported in the newspaper. Okay. Radio log. Better than a radio cock. This Okinomiya station calling Unit 3. Please respond. This is Unit 3, loud and clear. Backup is heading your way. Hold position until further instructions. Over. Roger, Unit 3 acknowledged. Requesting no headlights. Requesting radio silence. Station. The doctor has arrived. They want to carry it away. What's the order? Over. Acknowledged. Leave it to the doctor. Affirmative. Understood. Backup has arrived. Shouldn't we let them take the photo first? I think the Vic is done for. Damn. Okay. It's perfect. We're at the end of chapter 6. So I'm gonna break here. I know this was a rather short stream, but I'm ready to dive into chapter 7. Probably next week and earlier than you might think. So take note of your calendars. I'll be back tomorrow, actually, after I watch anime with the boys. I'm gonna do a little bit of a late stream because I have a strategy game I want to show you. It is called, let me look that one up. I have a strategy game that I want to show you, and it is called Eastern Era. It's a colony builder. And yeah, it looks actually pretty interesting. At the moment, it has a mixed rating on Steam. We'll see how this goes. And I'm very interested in it. So yeah. Let's see. You can build your own sect in China, apparently. It sounds fun. All right. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for joining. And I'll be back on Sunday. So tomorrow. Mark your calendars. And everyone, thank you all for watching. Take care and bye.